Welcome to Strange Bedfellows, a Julian Fellowes fan cast. I'm Kirt Graves.
And I'm Stefanie Jochman-Deepak. Today, we're celebrating Christmas in April as we discuss the 9th and final episode of Downton Abbey Season 2.
That's right, folks. It's not an April Fool's joke.
No.
We are actually discussing Christmas on April 1st.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Woo! And we've made it to our favorite episode of the season.
Maybe of the whole series.
Quite possibly. This was a great episode.
Yes.
It really nicely tied up the season, tied up some storylines, even some that I haven't been a fan of, tied up nicely.
Yes.
So I was a fan.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, let's do our 60-second recap, shall we?
All right. I mean,
again, saying we, all on you. All on you.
I mean, get ready, folks. And since it is Christmas, I brought you a Christmas carol.
Yay! Singing 2 episodes in a row.
I know.
Yay.
Listeners are going to be like, what is with this lady? But here we go. Acapella and all. Deck the halls of Downton Abbey. Fa la 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 la. Rosamond's here and Carlisle's crabby. Fa la 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 la. Matthew's mourning. Bates is guilty. Fa la 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 la. Ice is lost and Thomas is silty. Fa la 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 la. The Ouija board has downstairs talking. Fa la 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 la. Is William there whose spirit's stalking? Fa la 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 la. Daisy visits Mr. Mason. Fa la 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 la. New dad knows best and doles out wisdom. Fa la 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 la. Mary's secrets out to Matthew. Fa la 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 la. She's US bound to escape her I do. Fa la 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 la. But Matthew's fighting, punching faces. Fa la 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 la. He'll oust Carlisle and break some vases. Fa la 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 la. Bates might die. He's saved last minute. Fa la 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 la. Check Hepworth's bed 'cause one maid's in it. Fa la 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 la. Joyous now, all dance together. Fa la 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 la. As Matt and Mary kiss in snowy weather. Fa la 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 la. Thank you.
Your best work yet.
Thank you.
And there have been some great ones.
Thank you very much.
That was phenomenal. That was great. I loved it. It took me back to those days of yore when we were
Writing
hiding out in
songs?
coat closets, and using parodies to make fun of our closest friends and colleagues.
Yes.
That was brilliant. Awesome.
Thank you. I
Loved
thought you would
that.
enjoy.
Yeah, I did. I loved it. And if you are not watching on YouTube, go watch my delighted reaction. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. Well, here we are.
Yeah.
Back at Downton. Was it just me, or was this opening shot very reminiscent of Gosford Park?
Oh, I didn't clock that, but I bet it was.
Because the weather's kind of gloomy, and
Okay.
it's Rosamond arriving instead of...
Yes.
Well, it's Maggie Smith. I forget what her character was in that.
Yeah.
So like coming in through the rain in your fancy car, stopping, new maid.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this is very Gosford Park, except it's
Yeah.
Rosamond instead of
Oh, good
Maggie
catch.
Smith. So, yeah. And then, we have just our lovely house being decorated for the holiday.
Yeah.
Christmas 1919.
Yeah. Got a big tree in the, I don't know, not foyer, but sort of the grand hall.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time to give presents to the servants in what I've noted as a very awkward presentation.
Oh my God. Everyone stand in a line and wait to be called up for your gifts from the master.
Yeah. Many
And then
of which are like hand-me-downs.
But maybe, I don't know. I never clocked it before that like Lady Mary gives Anna cloth for a frock.
Yeah.
It's not even the whole damn dress. Girl, good thing you added the jewelry on top, because otherwise that is some BS.
Yeah. She's got to take that stuff to a dressmaker, I guess.
Yeah. Here's some work, or it's some work for her.
Yeah.
Here, you can turn this into a dress, or pay somebody else to. Whatever. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. A bunch of odd, awkward gifts all around this This tradition seems very performative.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is where sometimes I love American traditions where all you get from your boss is a bonus.
Yeah.
Just give me more money.
Yep.
Please and thank you.
Yeah.
And I will go spend it in a way that I see most fit.
Yeah. And I think these servants would probably appreciate that too. You
Yes.
know, we have all these village fairs, as we've clearly established in the first season.
Yes.
I'd love a little more spending money for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Carson gets The Royal Families of Europe, a book on the peerage of Europe, and he's quite excited about it.
I believe he would actually like that.
He genuinely seems to enjoy his gift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's not that I think they're giving bad gifts. It just, no, I do. That's exactly what I'm saying. They're giving bad gifts. They're giving bad gifts because I guess what I mean to say is it's not that they don't know their employees well enough to get them something they might use or be interested in. They're just kind of half-assing the whole thing, you know?
Yeah. It definitely feels that way.
Totally.
Yeah.
Very much so. What else happens after that?
Well, so then we sort of shift. We get the downstairs, and downstairs they're doing Christmas crackers and they're enjoying a Christmas luncheon. And so then we're back upstairs where we get one other great gift exchange where Violet opens a nutcracker and Isabel has to explain it's a nutcracker for cracking your nuts.
Yes. I thought you'd enjoy it.
Yeah, I thought you'd enjoy it. That's such a great, we thought you'd like it.
Yeah.
Such a great line. And they are all serving themselves. There's been like a buffet set out. And so this leads Carlisle to ask, why do we have to help ourselves at luncheon? Suddenly, he who had rejected all of this falderall and had criticized it upon first visit is like, why aren't the servants waiting on me? Why do I have to serve myself at Christmas? Why do I have to serve myself on New Year's Eve? This seems ridiculous. Can't they adjust their schedules so I can be served? The man is the worst.
Yeah. God, so much happens. It's hard. I don't like, my concern is that I'm going to jump to something that's like ahead of what you want to talk about. So I'm just going to go to the next thing that's on my list of things that I remember.
What's next on your list?
Which is like, we've reintroduced Anthony Strallen.
That was next on my list. So well done.
So, Violet is seeing that Edith is still hung up on Anthony Strallen and invites him to tea and invites her to tea, does a little secret tete-a-tete between the two of them.
Yes.
And he shows up having been injured during the war and is no longer has use of his right arm, which is why he's been kind of putting off seeing people and like hasn't really re-entered society and hasn't been showing up and wasn't going to show up for the hunt at Downton Abbey for New Year's Day. And yet we see that Edith still kind of carries a flame for the guy. And take note of this because this is the last we're going to see Edith for the rest of this episode. She does nothing the rest of the show.
Our minds, shared brain, because I was like, oh, when he stops talking about this, I'm going to say, and this is the last we see Edith.
Yeah.
Except for like one little bit.
I mean, she's around. She's in the background sometimes. She doesn't do much.
But I had this moment in the last minutes of the episode where all of a sudden I was like, where is Edith? And
she went up to bed early. Did you hear? Like they even explain her away. Robert and Cora are like, Edith's already up to bed. It's like, oh yeah, I guess she wasn't in the last hour of the show.
Laura Carmichael had other plans apparently.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
But that exchange was also notable to me in the way that they are handling Sybil's life.
Yes.
And the way they're talking about it with like the county gentry that like, oh yes, only Edith and Mary were able to make it over. The rest of us didn't go because we were sick. We were sick, Violet says, not that we decided not to go because he is our old chauffeur.
And an Irish revolutionary.
Yeah. Just a nice young man who's interested in politics, and that's all there is to it. And thank you. Don't ask any more questions. Goodbye.
Yeah. And I guess the last thing we get of Sybil is a letter that Cora receives later that announces she's pregnant. And so Robert is like, well, now there's no going back. We will have a Fenian grandchild. And
yes, I did have to look up what Fenian meant.
Yeah, I did too, to double check. And so they are they seem accepting, but also Robert realizes, okay, yeah, there's no undoing this now. He's in the family.
Which, rightly, Cora's response is sort of like, now you think she's crossed the Rubicon?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
Pretty sure she did that when she gave up her whole life, moved to Ireland, and married the guy. But whatever, I could be splitting hairs. It's splitting hairs.
Well, I mean, this takes us back to the whole Mr. Pamuk situation, which we'll get to later.
Mm-hmm.
But that is, you just the women and sleeping together and the consequences of those things. So, yeah.
I don't want to skip over some things you want to talk about, but I want to talk about Thomas.
Okay. Yes.
And his plot to become the valet to Lord Grantham, and taking the worst advice ever given by O'Brien.
Yes.
Because the whole problem is that he's like, well, they don't trust me because of that stealing thing I did. So how do I make them trust me? And she's like, well, that's the trick, is you have to make them trust you again. So steal something and then bring it back.
Yeah.
And Thomas is like, interesting. And then looks to the right, and there's the dog.
Oh.
Don't mess with the dog, Thomas.
I know.
Don't mess with the dog.
Thomas, have you not read Save the Cat and any screenwriting manual?
Right? This is the opposite of Save the Cat.
Yeah.
It's Take the Dog.
Yeah.
We're establishing him as a villain.
Yep. Oh, Thomas. Yeah.
Oh, Thomas.
It's, of course, O'Brien's response to how do I make them think I won't steal is steal something again.
Right. Trick them into trusting you.
Yes.
Basically is her advice.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to do it in a way that's genuine. So you may as well fake it and get away with it and get what you want.
And
boy, she's learned a lot.
Oh, so much.
From her travails in the previous episodes, where she was so worried about Cora and how she had done her wrong and needed to. No, all gone.
No, just still
scheming.
Yeah, still scheming. Occasionally offering some humanity in her feelings towards Bates, but then yes, still stealing. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
what's funny is I really didn't write down anything about this whole Bates trial.
It's in the midst of a Christmas episode. It is such a drag.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, Mr. Bates. This is literally a life and death situation for him, but it is such a drag in the middle of a Christmas episode.
So sorry you're on death row, but this is kind of a bummer for me around the holidays. So
we're just going to ignore this.
Could we not? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you need the stakes but yeah, it's not something you dwell on. And this episode, I have my holiday viewing, and there are certain movies and episodes of television that I will watch pretty much every Christmas season. And so I would say, I don't know, for like 10 years after this aired, this was like an annual viewing. And if I were running short on time, I would skip through the trial stuff for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, I did make some notes about the trial. So let's just talk about it since it came up.
Yeah.
How does the prosecutor have all of this information? The more I think about it, the more, like, the way it is presented is as though O'Brien and Mrs. Hughes have no idea why they're being called for the prosecution. They don't know. But certainly at some point they must have been interviewed about what they heard, because how else would he know to ask them?
There must have been a deposition
about their eavesdropping. Who else knew? Where's the prosecutor getting the information to be able to get them on the stands and walk them into making Bates look bad? And they seem so surprised that like he even knows to ask the question. And same with Robert later when he comes upon, it's like he's remembering it for the first time. Like, oh yeah, he did say that. Nobody else would know what happened in that conversation unless Bates himself went to the prosecutor and said, here are all the times I threatened to kill my wife. Well, and the people who would have heard it.
Did he end up doing that? Because remember, he and Anna had the talk about how I need to come clean. I need to say, I bought this poison at this point in time. So maybe it came through any conversation he had with authorities, or depositions were taken, but then conveniently never mentioned in order to create some suspense in this episode. But yeah.
And all of the witnesses forgot about the statements they previously gave and are super surprised to be called to give those same statements again. I think with respect to Lord Julian.
Yes.
I think this was a convenient writing device that when you take one step back, you go, hold on a second.
Yeah.
There weren't other people around to witness this. How did he find out about these conversations? And because, I mean, unless there's something about British law that I don't understand, certainly Bates's lawyer would ask him for like, did anybody hear anything?
Yeah.
You know, like, let's be prepared for this. So you got to tell me everything you've ever said about your wife that somebody might have heard that could lead them to believe you killed her.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't then go to the prosecution and be like, and here are my interviews with my client where he talks about killing his wife. Like, that wouldn't be something you would have to like turn over in discovery because it's privileged information with a lawyer.
Yeah.
That's how it works here. I don't know about in the, 1919 in England.
I don't know. I'm trying to think the only other like big I've watched, like Poldark had some court stuff in it, but I don't remember how the rules worked for that either.
Yeah. It's just, I get it as a dramatic device.
Yeah.
That like they're on the stand and like he walks them right into their little like, yeah, I was eavesdropping. Yeah, he said that. And, he did say he was going to kill her. Oh, no. Again, I get it as a dramatic device, but it's still like, there's no way he would have known that.
Yeah.
Unless they had already told him, in which case they shouldn't be so surprised.
Right. Or
some hanky-panky weird stuff was happening on the back end that he like found out stuff he wasn't supposed to.
Or did Vera write some letter?
But how would Vera even know about,
I don't know,
the conversation between Robert and
no
one else was in the room.
Yeah.
When Bates said the thing, I wish you were the former or better yet, the late.
Yeah.
So anyways, they call a bunch of staff and Robert to the stand and they say all like the weirdly incriminating things that he did say about his wife, who he rightfully really did not care for.
No, but had good reason not to.
And had good reason not to like her and to say things in anger that we all know he would not actually follow through on.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets a guilty verdict.
Yes.
And is sentenced to death.
Yep. And so Anna screams in the court and upstairs and downstairs folks who have come to the trial to support her, to support him, sort of come home shocked at the news. And so it casts a pall over Downton in the post-Christmas celebrations, the servants' ball, which we'll return to, and sort of any other events that happen to be going on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the events that happens there that confused me enough to write it down is their shooting lunch is in a barn.
Yeah.
With like hay on the floor. Like they're sitting, like there's hay on the ground and they set up a bunch of tables and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like this was a lot of this episode is making extra work for the servants that I find is unnecessary. And making them haul tables and that whole lunch out to a barn for like atmosphere, not necessary.
Not necessary, but I think very frequent. So I feel there is, I mean, you think about the Crown, right? And Queen Elizabeth in the Crown loves going up to Balmoral and spending time in Scotland, and that's a very rural location. And I think there's a kind of thrill to sort of like mucking it and being in your camping clothes, right? Because any of the difficulties of camping are done by somebody else.
Right. Yeah.
Right. You can just like look like you're in the spirit of it. Similar with this.
Roughing it.
Yeah.
With our catered lunch.
Exactly. So this hunting lunch, it's like, we will be in our athleisure of the time. We will do this rugged activity and then go to have this rustic lunch in the barn as the peasants do.
Nobody is less mad about that than me, because that is as much camping as I ever want to do again in my life. But I still like when when the establishing shot was what looked like literally an old dirty barn. And then we saw them inside, and like they had some lovely flowers on the table and like all the proper plates and cutlery. But then you saw a shot of the ground, and they really are just like hanging out in a barn with a bunch of hay on the ground.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
No, I mean,
they don't have like a dinner barn, like a lunch barn, a special barn just for dining in somewhere.
Well,
that's what I would do. I'd have my special barn.
I think this also connects to, I live not too far from Shenandoah, right? Shenandoah National Park. Shenandoah National Park was, or began as sort of first it was a place where people lived, right? Indigenous people and many people who were sort of living amongst the poverty line. That's important to establish. But then it became like this vast wildlife region, sort of a haven and a vacation spot for the wealthy. That was another one of those sort of like roughing it. And I think it's around this time period that becomes popular. So I think it's just maybe a trendy thing for them to do. I know.
It was a special thing. I don't know. I guess I just feel like the rich people would have us, like they'd have their idea of that, but they're like, but not a real barn. Not an actual barn. It's like people who get married in barns nowadays. They're not getting, most of them, some of them do. Most of them are not getting married in actual barns. They're barns that were made to host weddings.
Yeah, I don't think we
get
had
to pretend we're doing something rustic. But I guess I just have to accept that they were in a real barn.
Yeah.
Eating lunch.
Yep.
Ugh. Okay. Did we not all just have the Spanish flu?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure the smells were really appetizing, although it's British food, so.
Oh, burn.
Wait, was that like too much? Did that cross a line, Stefanie?
Didn't cross a line. It's just perpetuating what is now inaccurate. But back then, maybe not so much.
Back then?
Yeah.
Back then?
Yeah.
We see some of the food they put on the table. It doesn't all look great.
Okay, fair point.
No. What else is going on in this episode? Let's talk about Daisy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Let's talk about Daisy.
Sophie McShera. Oh, wow.
Yes. MVP of the episode, I think. She does such a wonderful job.
I think so. It's really beautiful.
And it starts with a conversation with Mr. Mason just at the servants' hall table, where honestly, like that confused me. That first conversation, I was like, wait, is this making her feel better? That she's sort of like half telling him the truth about William and like, well, I didn't maybe love him as soon as I should have, and that wasted time. And then he's like, oh, no, you gave him the chase. He loved that. And I was like, is this actually going to console her? But then she walks away, and as she's walking past Mrs. Patmore, says more lies. And I was like, okay, so she gets that wasn't the whole truth. But is this as much as we're going to do? And then there's a conversation with Violet that I loved.
Oh, that is, yeah, I forgot about that little moment, and it is so beautiful.
Yeah, because she's weeping as she's tending to the fire, and Violet walks in and is like, what is the matter? And I love that, again, Violet has such a reputation on the show of being like so hard and so cynical and so sharp with her tongue.
Yeah.
But there are just so many moments where we see her softer side, and the fact that she, among all of the people of Downton, really sees the servants as real people.
Yeah. And she's they so
probably couldn't name them.
No.
Probably couldn't tell you their name, but like sees Daisy crying and says, well, what's the matter? And gets to the bottom of it. And I think does finally help her realize that like, well, that wasn't unkind of you to marry him. You didn't love. And she's like, well, I didn't love him. And she's like, it sounds like you did.
Yeah. You
did a kindness to him at the end of his life.
Yeah. You
didn't want him to suffer more. That sounds like you did.
Mm-hmm.
And it changes her perspective. And then she goes to visit Mr. Mason at the farm. And it gets to tell her that, like, there were all these children of ours that passed away, at birth or shortly thereafter. And William was our one son who made it to adulthood. And I think that's part of why he wanted you to marry him, so that I could take you in as like my daughter.
Yeah.
And treat you like a daughter. And we learn that, Daisy does not have parents.
Yeah.
In that way, she says she's never had parents in that way.
So it's like that to me suggests she has parents, but they didn't really care for her or sort of put her out to work whenever she was able. And that she was less, beloved child and more like burden or responsibility.
Right. And that reframing really seems to help her. That maybe what William's real intention was not for them to just be man and wife, but for her to have a family and to leave a family behind for his father, and that they can take care of each other. They do for the rest of the series. Yeah.
And that is one of the most beautiful relationships of the whole series. Like it was such a gift. And I really love that here in this Christmas episode, like that storyline feels almost the most Christmassy because it has that warmth and that glow of family and that sort of idea of like restoration of things you didn't know you had lost. It's really just so beautiful. And as much as we have been upset with Mrs. Patmore for sort of orchestrating things with William all season, the way she orchestrates this visit for Daisy to Mr. Mason, so sweet and so smart that she like watches everybody's fascination with the Ouija board. Sort of Thomas insults her with the Ouija board. I was like, Archie would never insult his aunt. Right?
Yeah.
But then once she realizes like, okay, the Ouija's capturing Daisy's attention, she takes it seriously, sort of pushes her way to the front, sits on down, and then spells out, go to farm, make dad happy, or something to that effect.
Something of that effect.
Yeah. My note here is her message would take way longer to spell out than what the scene allows.
Yeah, that ghost was moving at a rapid pace to be able to move that planchette around as quickly as it was. Which sort of connects to another major storyline because Daisy, her other goal storyline in the episode is that she's feeling undervalued in the kitchen. That she's learned a lot, she knows how to do a lot, and it is Rosamund's maid who starts to plant that idea in her head early in the episode. Like, you're doing all this, you know how to make that? You could go to another house and be the cook. Like, why are you, and like, why are you a kitchen maid? And so throughout the episode, she gets a little more confidence and realizes that like, I have learned a lot. And she kind of argues with Mrs. Patmore. And then she goes and talks to Mr. Mason, who finally gives her some good advice to say like, well, if you truly believe this, stand up for yourself. And she does. And so she'll become like the official like assistant cook in the future. She's starting to rise in the ranks. But back to Shore, who is the Rosamund's new maid.
Yes.
Who's only been with her a few months and is immediately downstairs stirring up trouble with Daisy and some other things and saying her opinion.
Maligning
and she's
Bates.
also part. And she's also part of Rosamund's plot in a big way.
Yeah. In that, she seems really sharp and Rosamund seems quite taken with her and happy with her. But then when it comes to Rosamund's second visit to Downton, Lord Hepworth, who appears to be courting Rosamund, Rosamund invites him at Shore's behest. The Shore has kept nagging her to invite Hepworth to Downton once again. And that should raise some antenna. Why does Shore want Hepworth?
It certainly does
there?
In hindsight, right?
Yeah.
Like as you're watching this episode, knowing how it ends, like all of the times that she mentions how her servant is the one who wants Hepworth to show up.
Yeah. That should tell us some things. And so a lot of Rosamund's plot surrounds her relationship with Hepworth. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say that this is another thing, like hats off to Julian Fellowes, because I love the way this unfolded in such an interesting way, because we are led to believe the problem with Hepworth. By the middle of the episode, Violet kind of sits him down and is like, okay, so I know you're broke.
Right.
I know that, like, your houses are gone. You owe a lot of money. You're a fortune hunter. You want Rosamund for her money. That's it. And it's like, oh, that's why he's the bad guy and this isn't going to work out. But then that gets revealed to Rosamund, and Rosamund is still like, yeah, I don't care. I have the money.
Yeah.
It's not about the money for me. I like him. He makes me happy. I think I might marry him anyways. And then we get the next revelation.
Yes.
Which is that it's been Shore all along who's with Hepworth and has been guiding Rosamond into his clutches so that they could stay together and also he could relieve his debts.
Be supported.
So it's been the maid with the puppet strings the whole time.
Yes. And who is on the case? Anna Bates.
Anna Bates investigates.
Anna Bates investigated this one.
Yes.
Called it out.
And she's properly Anna Bates now.
Yes. Yeah. Now we can really say Anna Bates investigates. And even in the midst of potentially mourning her husband who is on death row, she is sniffing out falsehoods, calling it like she sees it, giving people the eyebrow raise.
You know, now that you mention that, I do wonder too if it wasn't written in that she's just a little more ruthless about it, because she's like, I have no F's to give. I have no time for this.
Right.
Because she sees Shore with Hepworth a couple of times, and the second time Shore is, says something like, men, and totally deadpan and with no remorse, she just says, and I know women too. And it's just she does not care. She does not care. She's like, I'm just going to end this. Sees them going upstairs and is like, Mary, come on. We got to break this up. She's ruthless, and I love it.
Yeah. So good. So great. I like Violet's lines. There are many varieties of happy marriage, but they are all based on honesty. So sort of when she just calls out Hepworth. So we've got, there was this potential for Rosamond. That is no more. We have another couple breaking up. And I think, would this bring us to Mary and Carlisle? Have we reached that point, do you think?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, what is there more to get into other than it's been building up this whole time that she doesn't really like him.
No.
She's just indebted to him because of the secret that he knows, which now Robert knows.
Yeah. Yes. And so that really is the big thing. I mean, her distaste for Carlisle, his sort of his unkindness, his maliciousness has already been revealed. But yes, in this episode, Robert confronts Mary because he finally finds out from Cora. He's like, why is she still marrying this guy? None of us like him. It's very clear that she doesn't like him. Why is she still doing it? And so Cora reveals the truth to Robert, and then Robert confronts Mary about it. And it is this episode's so full of great scenes. And so when he confronts Mary about confronts Mary about Mr. Pamuk, basically saying, hey, I know what's up. She seems so drained of life. She's so gray-faced, and he's so compassionate as a father. And then he says, I want a good man for you, a brave man. Find a cowboy in the Middle West. And bring him back to shake us up a bit. We both wrote that down. It is such a good line. This is a scene that I think shows up in the PBS compilations, and it is a really good one. And just that he calls it a cowboy from the Middle West.
Middle West, yes.
But he basically gives her permission. Don't suffer for the sake of our family. We can navigate this. I
just want to back up a little bit, because in the scene where Cora finally tells Robert, the way that Julian handles this is so brilliant, because we don't get a rehashing of what happened. What we get is Cora saying, do you remember the son of a Turkish diplomat, Mr. Pamuk? And Robert is like, yeah, I remember when somebody dies in his bed. And she just says, well, that's the thing. Cut the scene.
Yeah.
So, but it's so perfect. It's okay, so we know that she's telling him, she's giving him all the details. He now knows, but we didn't have to go through it all again. Such good writing.
Yeah. Really good writing. Covers that ground and then sort of follows up with this Mary and Robert scene. So he releases her from this commitment. Meanwhile, Isabel and Violet are still doing their best to say, hey, Mary, he still loves you. Hey, Matthew, she still loves you. let's get over ourselves and just let this happen. But we still have like an hour in the episode. So they'll
so much time. Yeah, so much has happened. So much.
Yeah. They'll draw.
Yeah, it is. I love the little chorus of angels on their shoulders being like, he still loves you, you still love him. We can all see it. Why are you two the only ones? And it is this devotion that Matthew has to Lavinia, and when she died, knowing that Mary and him had reconnected, and she saw it, and he was like, well, that's what killed her. So she's still holding on to that.
Yeah.
Which, like, okay, fine.
And so that's
it's
his
only
hang
been a
up.
few months.
Yeah. That's his hang up. Her hang up is the Mr. Pamuk of it all, which she finally reveals when they're out trying to search for Isis, which good on Matthew. The minute he finds out Isis is missing, he's like, well, let's arrange a search party and we'll go out in the middle of the night and, you know, we'll take care of this. There you see sort of the next, the air, right? Like doing the air thing and commanding the situation. But in the midst of that search is when Mary finally tells Matthew what's up.
Yeah.
And he has to pause to process it. And she recognizes, you know, I'm Tess of the D'Urbervilles to your Angel Claire. Nice little literary allusion there, Mary.
There were so many allusions in this episode in particular.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Because we had Tenant of Wildfell Hall with the game.
Yeah.
I love that they just called the game.
So many.
Yeah.
In the game, yeah. Charades.
Yeah.
It's not charades. It's called the game.
Yes. So, yeah, he takes a minute to process it, but ends up rightfully and thankfully saying, there's nothing I have to forgive you for. You've lived your life. I lived mine.
And so then Mary casts Carlisle off.
Yep.
In a really good scene.
Yes.
Between Mary Carlisle and of course Matthew, which I gotta say, both during the hunt and during this scene, both times there was a part of me that was like, Matthew, do you need to insert yourself right now?
Yeah.
Like, you're a smart guy. You are emotionally intelligent. You must know this won't be helpful.
Yeah. But he does it anyway. Because there is his love for Mary. Right? There is that connection showing up and sort of throwing reason aside for the sake of love.
Yeah. Well, and maybe this is just where chivalry's dead, but I'm just like, hang out in the hallway and wait till it's done and then go right in and be like, I support you. I heard how you handled that. You did a great job.
Yeah.
Like, I knew you didn't need my help. I knew you could handle it. You know what? It's not a lack of chivalry. It's feminism. Matthew isn't a feminist. There we go. I said it.
Ooh. You know,
Nor would he have been.
Right. I hate to admit it, but I think there are plenty of things in his favor that suggest that, or not in his favor that suggests you're right. But he sort of provokes Carlisle, who then brings up Lavinia, says, you know, you never loved her and she knew it. And he's trying to just twist the knife, gets Matthew angry enough that he socks him in an awkward punch.
Yeah.
Truly. It's not the best fight scene.
No.
But they break a vase. And this leads to another great line from Violet where Matthew apologizes and she's like, don't. It was a gift from a terrible relative.
A wretched aunt. I've hated it for half a century. Yeah.
Yeah. And
one of my favorite zingers of the whole series is when Carlisle is like, I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. And she just says, do you promise?
Do you promise?
Do you promise? Oh, it's so good.
I know. You wish for the wit that can respond in that way with that kind of rhetorical question. So good.
In my head, I do have that.
Same.
But it's in my head. It's in my head.
You know what?
Oftentimes, I will think the things, but not say them out loud.
I think I wish could think the things. I wish I could be that quick. So not so much same. I wish I could have the quick wit, and I often don't.
Well, maybe what I have is quick cutting words. Maybe they're not always witty. We'll say that. But there are quite a few times in my life where like the thing that comes to mind is like, okay, that was a first draft and we're going to wait. And in the retelling, I might say that I said that.
There you go.
But in the moment, I'm going to temper my words.
Yes.
But to be able to come up with something like, do you promise?
Do you promise? Yes. Yeah.
So good.
Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Mm-hmm. And so with Carlisle gone, yeah.
Well, before he goes, Mary meets up with him the next morning just to have a moment that's not ending in anger. And I don't know how Julian does it. He makes me have a morsel, a modicum of remorse for Carlisle. I'm like, okay, how has he done this? How has he humanized him in such a way that I'm even just I'm a little bit feeling bad for him in this moment because he says he loved her so much more than she could ever loved him. And it's just like, ooh, did we ever see that?
Answer is no.
Is he a man who just doesn't know how to express himself and we just never got to see that? What he claims is love.
Yeah, that could be. I feel like that kind of line and the behavior we have witnessed are an excellent recipe for therapy.
So true.
Let's take that love.
True. Has that been invented yet?
Talk to somebody.
In 1919? Talk therapy?
Yeah, because Freud is 20s, right? So we're getting there.
In the British upper class?
No, definitely not.
No. Have they discovered it yet, do we think?
No. I mean, I think maybe Edith might be the first ones to find out, like with Gregson, because Gregson's going to Europe often in future seasons. So he'll tell them about it.
Yeah.
And Edith might be the first Crawley to sign up, like to be open.
Yeah, that seems right. Yeah. Edith is the first Crawley in therapy. I believe that 100%. Yes, that is canon for us. Yes.
First line is, listen, my parents have already declared that I'm the one who's going to care for them in their old age.
Right.
I've labeled myself the maiden aunt.
Yes.
Tell me more.
How many times have I been left at the altar? Let me tell you about it. Yeah.
Do I keep barking up the same strawlin tree? Yes.
Yes. Do I only fall for unavailable men? I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Oh boy. So as you were saying, with Carlisle gone, ...
Yes. Then really all we have left. So Bates's fate is still hanging in the balance through
Bates's
a lovely,
fate, love that.
Yeah.
Bates's fate.
Yeah. Deus ex machina moment. Surprise. Mm-hmm. We get a letter or like a telegram that Carson runs into Robert to say he's been given a reprieve, life in prison. And Anna goes to visit him. You know, she had been going to resign from Downton because it would have just been too hard for her to be there with all the memories. She might run away with Mary to America. Mm-hmm. But now she withdraws her resignation. She goes to see Bates. He gives her this lovely message of live your life. And so that plot is resolved. So the servants' ball can happen once again.
Yeah. And I just want to point out, as Anna was meeting with Bates in that thing, and she's talking about well, maybe I can find something that proves your innocence. In my head, I just heard the words, Anna Bates Investigates returns for a new season this fall. Because it's just they're setting it up.
Yep.
Here she comes.
She's always got something to look into. I will also rewind a bit to Anna and Bates's previous scene. So when it appears that he is going to be executed, they have what might be their most romantic moment, which I found interesting. The moment that should have been the proposal, or the line that should have been the proposal. Bates says to her, no man can regret loving as I have loved you.
Well, that is good.
It's
How did
really
I totally
good.
miss that? That one.
Oh, you remember?
Sometimes I have blinders on when it comes to old Batesy because I don't get it.
They're in the prison and he says that line, they have this kiss, and it really, it is the maybe most swoony moment between the two of them. That all this time when we've been watching the two of them, and I've been like, I don't feel it as much. In that moment, you really feel it. And so then they touch, or they like move to kiss, and the guard goes, no touching. Right.
No.
But beautiful line. It was like, where was that line in your 2 previous proposals? Should have been there.
Yeah. And yeah, as you said, they get to hold a servant's ball. And my question is this a treat or a punishment for the staff?
Well,
yes, you get to have your upstairs dance, but you also have to do all the work to make it happen.
Yeah. So according to the Museum of English Rural Life, which I looked to when I asked myself, was this a thing? Was this real, or was this just a clever device? Yes, these servants' balls were real, but there wasn't as much camaraderie between the upstairs and the downstairs. That the upstairs folks may have been invited, but rarely attended. It was just sort of like a ceremonial invitation. And the servants, I think, did have to pay for it. They would they sort of were putting on their own party. Did it take place in
the home?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But they would sort of pass the hat around. There was a great anecdote on this website for this Museum of English Rural Life about somebody, a guy named Thomas, actually, who he raised the money to get the band, and he got like £1.16, whatever that would be worth today. And the band was actually only going to cost like 16 pence. So he spent the remainder on booze.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
If the band was only 16 pence, that pound seems like it would go a long way in getting a lot of booze.
Yeah. I'm hoping he shared some with the party. And I hope I'm retelling that story correctly. But visit the Museum of English Rural Life and you can check my facts. Yes. One of my favorite bits leading up to the servants' ball, so you get Robert and Matthew having a drink beforehand, and Matthew sort of asking him about protocol. Traditionally, Violet had started the dance, but then once with Carson, now Cora does. And then Matthew says, well, who will I partner with? And Robert says, well, probably O'Brien. And Matthew's response is, crikey. Yeah. I'm like, oh, Matthew here is all of us. Matthew is all of us.
Yeah. Like, oh, maybe forget I asked.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just find myself otherwise busy.
Yeah.
Otherwise
Oops, I had to go to the
occupied.
bathroom during that part.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Did my law office call? Oh, Mother? Mother, do you need my assistance?
Was that it?
Oh, I think the ghost of Lavinia needs me at the Ouija board.
Yeah. Well, she is a calling.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of spooky ookiness going on downstairs with Anna and Daisy interacting with the Ouija board, and it's saying there's somebody wishing, a couple a happy life.
May they be happy with my love.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who could it be?
To the scene.
The scene.
Matthew. The snow is falling. Mary is outside without a coat.
In a red dress. Very Christmassy, even though it's past Christmas at this point. And Matthew, asking her about leaving for America. Would you stay if I asked you to? And they sort of make amends with one another. And Mary says, are we really ready to do this? We carry more luggage than the porters at King's Cross.
Yeah.
He's ready. She's ready.
Yeah.
He proposes. We get this beautiful little moment. Like, Michelle Dockery's so good at making Mary cool, calm, very mature, but her girlishness, like the girlishness we saw in those first episodes, shows back up again as he's preparing to propose. He's like, well, you got to get down on one knee. You have to do this properly. Right. And that spark is back when he does. Oh. And they get engaged, and it's so beautiful.
That's wonderful. It's wonderful.
So much. Yes.
Beautiful episode.
Yes. So really, entirely satisfying.
Yes, it really was. And I can't believe that they waited until the Christmas episode to do all of this.
See, I can.
Yeah? That to me is I guess, again, I'm thinking through the American lens of like a Christmas episode would be like a fun bonus episode. But this truly is the 9th episode of the season. It is what wraps up all the storylines and sets us up for season 3.
Yes. And I think, Christmas episodes are a different thing in the UK, that they have the spirit more of like a finale than just a holiday episode. Vicar of Dibley is another series that I love. That has a Christmas episode too, where it's like weddings and all sorts of plots wrapped up, and Call the Midwife's Christmas specials are always pretty dramatic.
Yeah. So, well, but see, the thing about Call the Midwife for me is that it is almost more of a, I'm going to get this wrong. I mean, there's like sort of like a case of the week with them. Procedural versus like serial or whatever it is. You know,
that's
like,
true.
Yes, there are some overarching themes and storylines of Call the Midwife, but every episode is like, there's a mother or a patient, and like we kind of come and go with them. So like in that way, like the Christmas episode feels like it's set apart in the same way every episode of Call the Midwife is its own thing.
Fair point.
And this really does feel like Julian wrote all 9 episodes, including this one, and it was planned to be the Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Which it is called, by the way, Christmas at Downton Abbey. But if anybody's out there wondering, why aren't we calling it the holiday episode and being more inclusive, it is called Christmas at Downton Abbey. Yeah. And so it really did feel like the 9th and final episode, not its own little bottle episode over here.
I wonder, now this makes me want to go and do some research. I wonder if it had been renewed for series 3 when this episode was planned or even aired, or if there was a question of like, it could just end here.
Maybe.
So
I could be remembering wrong, but I feel like it was such a big fat hit even by season 2.
You would think. Yeah.
Certainly they were planning for season 3. Even if it wasn't official, they were like, we know. We know. We're not putting a wedding at the end of season 2. We're just putting the engagement.
Yes. Planting seeds for the next season. So beautiful.
And speaking of next seasons,
yes.
What are we doing next? We are crossing the pond.
Yes.
We're going to take another little break from Downton Abbey. We're crossing the pond for the Gilded Age season 1.
It's time to begin. So exciting.
Yes. In many ways, Gilded Age is like the origins of this podcast, because it was the thing that we both started watching right when it was airing, and we're like immediately sharing our thoughts with one another. This was the first time that could happen with a Julian Fellowes property. So we have the Gilded Age to thank, and we're going to start the Gilded Age next episode.
Yes. So feel free to, or you will join us for like the inside track on our text chat, our text chain.
Ooh, I'll have to go back through that chat and see what we said.
I know. I'm thinking I need to do that too. Somewhere I have a note of all of Christine Baranski's great quotes.
Oh, good.
Yes. But before we move on to the Gilded Age, we have some trivia.
Yes.
Every episode, one host will challenge the other with a trivia question related to the Julian Fellowes property we're discussing that week. It could be about an actor, the production, the time period in which the story is set. The possibilities are endless. So first, let's take a listen to my answer from last week.
So, earlier in the episode, we talked about how they are setting up the gifts, and they're setting up the gramophone, and Violet walks past the gramophone, and upon seeing it for the first time, she says, "You should stand well clear when you light the blue touch paper." Blue touch paper was a commonly used method of ignition for what objects in the 20th century? And for a bonus point, why was it blue?
Okay, blue. Okay, ask me that question one more time.
Blue touch paper was a commonly used method of ignition for what objects in the 20th century?
Oh,
what would they be igniting? And if you want to go for the bonus point, why was it blue?
I mean, igniting gas-powered objects? Or is there a specific object you're looking for?
It's a specific object. Something that you would ignite.
Man. Oh, but I'm going to say like a lamp.
Okay.
And why was it blue? Like the blue of a flame. I'm failing this question.
Is the point of trivia to know it or to learn about it?
I think
That's
to learn
the question.
about it. I'm
It's to learn
embracing the
about it.
learning. Yeah.
Blue touch paper was commonly used to ignite fireworks, which is why she was saying stand well clear, because I guess the gramophone looks like something you would use to launch a firework.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and it was blue just to make it easily identifiable. They would add little bits of copper just to make sure that it was clear what type of ignition device this was. It burned more slowly. So if you think of the old cartoons when you would light that ignition and it would like slowly creep toward the explosive
Mission
device.
Impossible. Yeah.
That's what it was doing. It was creeping towards the firework to set it off. And it was also used in some other like explosives and things like that. But I think it's fair to assume what Violet was referencing in that moment was fireworks and not like a bomb. So.
Okay.
That was blue touch paper in that time in history.
How ironic too then that she refers to the gramophone as like a firework in that that moment with the gramophone really well done, sir. Well done.
Quite the firework
yes.
for this series. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Listeners, did you get it right? Follow us on Instagram at Strange Bedfellows. That's Fellows with an ES, where we will be posting the trivia question each week. So this week, I have a trivia question for Kirt.
I'm so nervous. This was such a long episode. There's so many references. I tried. I really did. I tried. I was like looking things up as I watched to try to be ready.
Well, we've already sort of talked about the topic of my trivia question, and that is the servant's ball.
Oh, okay.
Very simply, traditionally, servants' balls were often held on what rather Shakespearean day amidst the Christmas holiday season? So, tune in next episode to find out if Kirt got it right. If you think you know the answer, find this week's question over on Instagram and put your answer in the comments.
This has been another episode of Strange Bedfellows. You've heard our thoughts, and now we want to hear yours.
The best way to get in touch with us is on Instagram. Again, that's at Strange Bedfellows with an ES in Fellows, or email us at strangebedfellows@gmail.com. You can also find our personal social media links in the show notes.
And if you would be so kind, please rate and review the show wherever you're listening to us right now, and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes.
Thanks for listening.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Yay!